Do you want to go live and just chat with the viewers?
Yes.
Since they don't believe that we're actually live. All right, I'm going to push this live. Your event is starting.
Only one of them doesn't think we're live.
Who is that guy? Is it somebody we know?
I've never seen him, so he might be a new viewer.
As I know,
but obviously 2-1 Marino's like trolling.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks, 201 Marino. He's our biggest fan. It never is, apparently. We're live, guys. So we're just kind of waiting for Andrew to hop back on. He's having a little bit of technical difficulties at the moment, so we'll just chat with you guys for a bit. There we go. Speak of the devil. But we will start the show as soon as we work out the technical difficulties. But until then, please leave a comment for us, and we will respond to it because this is. Hey, Andrew.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh wow. Okay. Why did it? That was strange. Okay.
Because this is in fact a live show. So if anybody watching wants to drop us a question or a comment, we will respond to it until we work out these minor technical difficulties.
Minor technical difficulties. Yeah. Okay. We're going back to the old audio setup. Hold on a second. I will call you right back.
All right. Dr. Nerdy 51, what are you? You are what? That is the question.
No, I am.
No, I am.
Yes, I'm not.
Oh, you guys. Did you guys have one of those crazy rainstorms up in Tokyo yesterday? And the day
Yep.
before? Yeah.
That lasted for like, what, 5 minutes?
Yep, that sounds about right, yeah. It was exactly the same the day before, too. Blue skies, beautiful weather. 30 minutes later, pouring rain, torrential rain.
Oh, you're right. It did happen.
And then,
last Sunday also. I was in Roppongi for the video I took.
Okay, so Dr. Nerdy 51 is asking what the capital of China is. That would be Peking, I believe. Peking is the capital of China, also known as Beijing. Any other questions? If we don't know the answer, faithful Google will tell us. To anybody who's just tuning in, we're waiting on one of our hosts, one of our co-hosts, to hop back in the chat. We'll start the show as soon as he gets back in, and we kind of get a stable video and audio connection going between us. But until then, if you guys do have any questions for us, we'd be happy to answer them. So my name is Hiroki. I'm living in Tokushima, which is a small city that you've never heard of before, probably. We've got Alex K, who is coming out of Tokyo.
Small city you've never heard of before.
Yeah, exactly. Just a tiny little backwater. And the other guy who we're waiting on is Andrew, who's in the lovely city of Osaka. Big O.
Big O.
Big O. Do you remember that? Do you remember that anime?
Yes.
I love the opening song. Big O.
Are you going to see the woolly mammoth in Tokyo?
Did you go see it? The one from Russia?
I didn't know anything about it.
Oh. Did I?
Is it in a museum or something?
I think it's supposed to go on display at some point.
Well.
Oh. That was one of the questions.
Yeah.
See, I'm getting them a little bit later for some reason. That's quite a bit of it. Alright.
Yeah, YouTube comments are so buggy, especially the live ones.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Video looks good
there
too.
we go.
Not to
Ulan.
mention, they won't see these. They won't hear our answers for a couple minutes.
No, there's a bit of an audio delay. Ulan Batar or Ulan Batur? Dr. Nerdy 51.
Somebody's in Mongolia here.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Is that the spelling? I thought it was a little bit different. For some reason, I thought it was 2 words. But I could be wrong.
I don't know. When your first language isn't English, then.
Oh, see, I just got that question.
Oh, really? See, my Mongolian is piss poor, as well as my geography. But if you're talking about Ulan Bator, I think that's the capital of Mongolia. She had a friend in college from Mongolia. It's where most of the people in Mongolia live, despite the country actually being pretty large geographically.
Well, just because it's large doesn't mean it's hospitable.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. All right, are you guys ready to start the show?
Pretty much as ready as I'm ever gonna be.
All right, well, hopefully the video won't crap out on us.
Well, I think I've taken care of that problem.
Anyway, now that we have thoroughly proved that this is in fact a live show, we will begin the actual show. All right. Are you ready, Andrew? Just give me a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown.
In a 5, 4, 3. Today is July 15th, 2013.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bad Communication Podcast.
From Osaka, I'm Andrew Hawkins.
And coming at you live from Tokushima, my name is Hiroki Matsuuchi.
And from Tokyo, I'm Alex Kobayashi.
And today we are joining the World Nagashi Somen Association. Yeah, that's right. We're going to be card-carrying members of the World Nagashi Somen Association. Did you guys have any idea that this association existed?
No.
No.
Okay, so
I know what somen noodles are.
Yeah. To give you guys a bit of a background, somen is it's a type of noodle. I think it's made from wheat, right? It's not a rice noodle, is it? Yes, we always do our due diligence.
I'm pretty sure it's rice.
Okay, so it's a noodle. It's a kind of a thin noodle, and it's typically eaten cold in summer. Yeah, it's really good. People dip it in like a soy sauce based or fish stock based sauce. It's really nice. It's a great way to cool down. And Nagashi Somen is kind of like a tradition in Japan where they slice a long cane of bamboo in half. They run water down it, and you kind of pick the noodles out of this running water floating through the bamboo. Have you guys ever done this? Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fast too. You got to be quick.
I've never done it actually. I really want to try it though.
It's good fun. Well, so I mean, the traditional way of doing it is kind of the sliced in half bamboo technique. But you can actually go to Nagashi Somen restaurants, or kind of, I'd say they're more like outdoor pavilions, where they actually have like a little pump that circulates the noodles around in a circle. All of the patrons sit around this kind of flowing track of noodles, and they pick it out. It's really fun, but if you kind of think about it, it's a little bit unhygienic. I went to one of these once before, and it was a lot of fun. It was like at the foot of a mountain, but I was sitting around this track with a bunch of other, strangers, people I didn't know, and there was a little boy who just sneezed into this torrent of, kind of water with the noodles flowing around it. And if you think about it, I mean, you're putting the chopsticks to using the chopsticks to grab the noodles, putting them in your mouth, and then putting it back into the original water. So,
yeah, and that's what people do when they eat nabe as well.
Yeah,
but I don't think about it.
But I mean, at least with nabe, it's boiling, so.
And you don't have a boy sneezing.
Yeah, you know what? There's so many microbes in and on our body that I try not to worry myself too much about it. But it is disgusting.
That is true. Yeah. It's funny. It's interesting that you mentioned that. I feel like kind of the whole shared food culture in Japan, it's pretty different from, at least my experience growing up in the States. Like, if you go to a restaurant with your buddies, maybe you split an appetizer, but beyond that, everybody gets their own main dish. And you can kind of spoon a little bit onto your buddy's plate, but besides that, you just kind of eat what you get. Whereas in Japan, if you go out to like an izakaya, which is like how would you guys translate izakaya? Like pub, I guess?
It's like a Japanese-style pub.
Right.
Yeah.
but potentially a lot fancier.
Right. The food.
They're classy izakayas, and they're really dirt cheap izakayas.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, when you go to these izakayas, you don't order just one dish. You order like a whole selection of dishes that are
Right.
shared among the table.
Mhm.
And you know, people do make effort to kind of keep things relatively clean. Like I have seen people flip their chopsticks around and pick up food from the tray using the back ends of their chopsticks. You guys ever seen that before?
No, I haven't actually.
I've done that before.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a cleanliness thing. So instead of using the end of the chopsticks that you put in your mouth, you kind of turn them around and pick it up from the communal plate using the back end.
Mhm.
But yeah, kind of the whole shared food culture is, I think, a lot different, in Japan than it is in a place like the United States, at least. I don't know about the
Mhm.
rest of the Western countries. But anyway, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 152 of the Bad Communication Netcast, the netcast all about Japan and the vision of the future from 1969
yes.
Japan.
So we've got the vision of the future, the vision of 1989 from 1969.
Right. So
Yeah.
it was 20 years in the past, as viewed from 40 years in the past, right?
Right. So there was a recent post on the internet of a scan of Sunday Shonen magazine, which means Sunday magazine for boys in Japanese, and it's a picture of what the future might look like from that time, and it's very kind of Disneyland Tomorrowland-ish, except a lot more colorful.
Right.
And they have such things as video phones. Hey, we got that a little bit late. An automatic iron. Still haven't seen that one. An automatic vacuum cleaner, which we do have, is just a couple decades late. And some other things like flying cars, which we still don't have.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure what this thing is. Some kind of robotic. Looks like a robotic dishwasher or a maid or something.
Oh, the one on the kind of right-hand side of the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like a
Jetsons
Jetsons
style robot.
Judy style, yeah, robot. It's always interesting to see these visions of the future. And I mean, we do the same thing, don't we? Like, I mean, if you look at movies like Minority Report, for example, I would say that's like our contemporary vision of the future. And it's
that's
interesting.
true.
It's interesting how people actually, like, they do try to emulate sometimes these visions of the future that you see in movies. Do you remember those gloves that are supposed to allow you to kind of using gestures to control a computer, like a wearable computer? Did you guys ever see that? I think it was an MIT student that built that wearable computer. He had these little colorful tips on his fingers, so if he wanted to take a picture, he would simply just touch his fingers together. And
Oh yeah.
it's kind of
I
the same.
think I remember that, yeah.
There was an interview done with this one young guy, and he said that he was inspired by kind of that scene in Minority Report where Tom Cruise kind of manipulates all of those images in 3D space using just gestures. Yeah, this is kind of cool because it kind of comes off of another image that was posted. This one's not necessarily connected with Japan, but it's the 1979 Americans version of the future. Let me pull it up on the screen. And the whole idea was, your home is just completely filled with computers, entertainment, and in this case, a serving robot. God, were they wrong?
Well, it's funny. People are so negative. They talk about, why don't we have flying cars yet? But when you think about it, we got some things wrong, but we got a lot of things a lot better than anybody's vision of the future back then. For example, the smartphone kicks so much more ass than Captain Kirk's communicator.
That's true.
Or any of the tricorders on Star Trek Next Generation.
Oh, really? But the tricorders were pretty amazing, though.
Well, they did some pretty amazing things, but
Tricorders were like communicators. Well, were they
no,
communicators?
they weren't communicators.
But
And maybe they had that functionality, but that's not how they used them most of the time.
You could do like medical body scans using the tricorder, though. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think people always have these grand visions of the future, but they don't take into account things like, flying cars would be great, and like technologically probably could do it, and it actually has been done before. But at the same time, would you really trust the human race driving around the sky.
Well, that's the
millions
thing.
and millions
It
of
would have-
flying cars.
It would have to be all automatic. It would
Ex-
have to be all computer controlled with shortwave radar and the like.
Right, kind of like the Google self-driving cars,
Yeah.
except
No,
flying.
no. We're not gonna have amateur pilots all over the place.
Well, I mean that was always kind of the apocalyptic scenario you imagine with flying cars. It's just like every day you walk out your door and there's like tons, hundreds, thousands, millions of tons of debris raining down on you.
Well,
As
that's the thing. It's one thing to have an accident on the road. It's another thing to have an accident and then fall 30,000 feet.
Right, taking out like the hundreds of cars below you, as well as any poor civilians on the ground. Anyway, speaking of the future, no, not really. Anyway, why don't we jump on to the next story? I think this is you, Alex.
Yes. So from Rocket News 24, we have some news about the expensive, fancy burgers from McDonald's, where they call again premium sandwiches.
I think so, yeah.
Isn't
And
it the
the-
jewelry series?
Yeah, the jewelry series. That's the title. And some of the people who bought the second one were asking, "Where are the truffles? Where are the amazing truffles?"
Black truffles too, right?
Yeah. So this jewelry series. This is the second one,
Yeah.
and
Before there were a couple other ones, or there's one other one, which was it the pineapple one or was it the salami one?
salami one's coming later. The pineapple one was before, I think, called Gold Ring or something.
Yeah, hang on, let me pull this up on the screen. You kind of got to see this to believe this. So, I mean, this is part of a series that's going to be kind of progressively coming out over the next few weeks, I believe, or next few months in Japan. McDonald's
Right.
is always doing, at least the McDonald's in Japan, is always doing interesting stuff with their burgers. So the first one was the pineapple one.
Gold ring.
Didn't you guys try this?
No.
I didn't get to because it was sold out by the time I even
That's
saw.
the thing. And I mean I didn't even try to get the gold ring, but last Saturday out of curiosity I thought, oh, maybe I'll try to get a black diamond. It sold out while I was in line.
So wait, the black diamond, that's the truffle one, and that's
Yeah.
that's the one that costs 1,000 yen, right?
They all cost 1,000.
Yeah, they all cost $1,000.
Do people really pay that? It's just for the burger too. It's not like for the meal set.
It's just for the burger.
So 1,000 yen's about $10. Would any of you
Yeah.
guys pay $10 for?
No,
a
it
burger?
comes in a really fancy box too.
Oh well, in that case,
It comes
sure.
in a really fancy box, and doesn't it come with some sort of Keisuke Honda merchandise?
I know he is like the sponsor for this particular series.
I got a couple of
think so.
plastic file folders for ordering quarter pounders from him before.
Thank you, Keisuke Honda, the Japanese soccer star.
But I think the thing was that they're all limited to one day.
Yeah, it's the hype is what it is. It's like, oh, it's a limited edition.
What do you think the
Like,
profit?
this is your only chance to get it.
What do you think the profit margin on one of these things is? Like, I mean, pineapple's not that expensive. It doesn't cost $10. This just looks like a regular quarter pounder with cheese, or like a double quarter pounder with cheese. I bet the profit margin is just through the roof. The McDonald's execs are just counting the money.
Well, yeah, maybe if it wasn't so limited. I think the idea here is to get people through the door mainly.
Right. I guess
But-
so.
In
Yeah, I
my
was
case, I
wondering
just
how
turned
many-
around and left when they didn't have it, so it didn't really.
Well, anyway, I guess the main thrust of this story is it's not about the ridiculous of these burgers, which is pretty self-evident, but
Right.
it's the fact that when it comes down to it, what the hell do black truffles taste like? Do any of you guys have any idea?
I don't have any idea.
So
No.
I've had black truffles once, but it was like tiny little shavings of it on top of like a plate of pasta. I had no idea what they tasted like. Somebody told me it's supposed to taste oaky and woody, but besides that, I have no idea. Especially, I have no idea what it would taste like inside a hamburger. So apparently, that's the big complaint. Is not only are people asking, where are the truffles as advertised, but what the hell do truffles taste like?
Not actually tasting the truffle.
Right.
A lot of people said so. Yeah, this burger is was supposed to have truffles in it. Well, it was kind of misleading according to the image, but the truffle, what was it called again? Black Diamond.
Uh-huh.
It consisted of high quality bread, truffle sauce, grilled mushrooms, and emmental cheese. So sounds good, but it's actually just truffle sauce and not actual I guess, piece of the truffle.
Yeah, contrary to the picture, which actually has a big old black truffle kind of sitting on the lower left corner.
So I guess some people are counting on this to be their first try at tasting a truffle.
Truffle experience.
Yeah.
McDonald's. Well, it's still McDonald's.
Despite
Even if it is 1,000 yen
the
burger.
fact that you're paying $10 for it. I don't know. If it wasn't $10, I'd probably try it, but $10 is a lot to pay just for a burger.
I don't know. What about the Ruby Spark?
Which one
What
is
does this
that?
thing have on it?
Is that like the prosciutto one?
Looks like it has salami and...
Yeah.
Is that guacamole in the bottom there?
Well, that's the thing, yeah. So if you look at the Ruby Spark, what do they call it? It's not prosciutto. It's some other type of premium Italian meat. But it just looks like bits of pepperoni, to be honest.
Chorizo slices.
Chorizo slices, that's right.
Well, that's not Italian.
Well, anyway.
Some people are saying, I don't know if I'm tasting the truffle or just the mushrooms.
Give it a shot if you get hungry and feel like blowing 1,000 yen. Anyway, guys, we gotta take a quick break for now. We're getting pretty close to the 15-minute mark. But I did shoot just a quick video in front of Tokushima Station that I'm going to share with you. So please stick around. We do have quite a few stories on the other side of the break. So don't go anywhere, guys. See you in a bit. Bye.
Spending way too long indoors. I thought I'd go for a little walk and just take a stroll around the station area. I thought I'd bring you guys along, see what there is to see. And there you have it, the heart of the very lovely city of Tokushima. Well, enjoy the rest of the show, guys.
Netcast.
Sorry about that, Andrew. I had you muted.
Oh. Okay, welcome back to the Bad Communication Pod Netcast.
Yeah, sorry. I'm still working out some of the kind of technical peculiarities of the new format of the show. Yeah, welcome back, guys. Sorry about the kind of shakiness of the video, but that was actually the area around the station where I live. Very lovely city of Tokushima. I don't know, Andrew, do you recognize a lot of those sounds? Does it make you feel nostalgic for your life back in Tokushima, or have you completely put that behind you?
I heard a lot of background music and a lot of walking signal sounds.
That's pretty much it. You could kind of hear the din of that big TV, like that jumbotron up on the side of the building, couldn't you?
Yeah.
It's been playing the same music for the past 6 years, as long as I can remember. Same commercials. Really? Yeah, nothing's changed. No, didn't recognize it.
Well, no, I didn't recognize it.
When was the last time you were back in Tokushima? It's been a while, hasn't it? Last time was for my wedding.
Your wedding.
Holy crap, it's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a long damn time.
Gotta come back. People in Tokushima miss you.
Doesn't feel like a long time.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to do in Osaka, so. Anyway, why don't we jump to our next story, which comes to us via News on Japan. And it's talking all about Japanese internet cafes. And I thought this was kind of an interesting story because I love internet cafes, spent a lot of time there when I first came to Japan, not so much time recently. I know Andrew's a big fan of the net cafes. I don't know, have you gone to them recently?
I have not.
Yeah, I don't know. Alex, you ever hang out in net cafes, read manga?
Well, when I first came to Japan, it was like main source of internet for me. So
yeah. Every time I move to a different location, I always spend a lot of time there, just because it's the only place where you can get an internet connection. It takes a long time to get your internet set up in Japan. So just to give you guys a bit of background, internet cafes in Japan are pretty fully decked out. You can do a lot of stuff there, and they offer a lot of like amenities that you wouldn't find at probably what you imagine an internet cafe being. Like, for example, you can take a shower at one of these internet cafes, which is pretty cool. They have rooms where you can lie down and you can get blankets and even pillows in some cases. You can buy things like toothbrushes and deodorants and all sorts of like personal hygiene supplies. So apparently, over the past 10 years, internet cafes in Japan have become more than just places for people to use the net and relax, but have become hotels for a lot of underemployed people. It's kind of a sad story, I guess. Many of these internet cafes, as I mentioned, are equipped with private booths, showers, and laundry services, which is something I didn't know about. And they're actually reasonably priced. Usually, if you're there for just a short period of time, it's a little bit expensive. But the longer you're there, it becomes almost exponentially cheaper. So, for example, you can spend about $19 a day at one of these cafes, and you can spend the night there. In 2007, which is a few years ago, according to Japan's Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, 60,900 people spent a night in an internet cafe, and about 5,400 of them were living there full time. Internet cafes, in addition to being kind of places where people can, I suppose, live if you don't have enough money to own an apartment or pay for a house. A lot of people do use them as like temporary hotels. Have you guys ever traveled anywhere and slept in an internet cafe before?
I have.
Really?
At Kansai Airport.
How was it?
Not a choice place to sleep.
Really?
To be honest. They had the 8-hour packages.
Right.
No, 9-hour package was the one that was
Right.
all night.
You could Kansai Airport.
Yeah.
Yes, what was it called? Kansai Lounge?
Konku Lounge.
That's
yeah.
right. I've been there. I've only spent a few hours, but you actually slept there.
Yeah. It's because the last bus to where I was going had already left.
Oh, jeez.
And it was either that. Well, I was new to the country, so it was either that or some really expensive hotels.
Yeah, especially around the airport, they're really overpriced.
Well, the airport at the hotel is super premium and expensive. I guess if you take the train across the bridge to Rinku Town, you can find some cheaper ones, but I wasn't up for that at the time.
Right.
So I just took the 9-hour package and slept in the net cafe. And I don't know, I was so tired that I guess I had to sleep, but it wasn't really a pleasant experience because it wasn't that comfortable and the lights and the ambient music were on the entire time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the booths do afford some privacy, but I mean, it's far from being a private area. You can't turn off the lights, and you can't get rid of the background noise or the noise of people just kind of strolling in and out of the cafe.
Probably wouldn't be able to do it without a face mask and some earplugs.
Yeah, definitely.
Faces.
Oh, I mean, I feel really bad for these people, but it is kind of a fact of life in Japan. Unemployment's not as bad as it is in some places, but what's called underemployment it's pretty bad in Japan. A lot of people, they can't get full-time jobs, so they end up working like part-time jobs at convenience stores or even like half a dozen different part-time jobs. And in many cases the amount of money they earn doesn't, afford them the luxury of, renting an apartment or getting a house.
And for whatever reason, they don't live with their parents anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, people can have a lot of reasons for either not wanting to or not being able to.
5,400.
Yeah, it's pretty big actually. It's a surprising number. But
I'm one of the people who have spent a night.
But I mean,
actually, no, I wasn't counted in this statistic.
Well, I mean, you would be the first one, the 60,900 statistic. The 5,400 is actually living in them full time.
Full time, yeah, I got it.
Wow.
It's actually a lot. But it's interesting. They talked to so the kind of investigators, the journalists for this particular story. They had a lot of trouble kind of photographing these people or actually talking to them because it's kind of embarrassing. for these people who do live in these internet cafes. But they did talk to one particular kind of cafe owner, and he said like he doesn't mind, and he feels like he's doing a service or providing a service for these people who would otherwise be homeless. When it comes down to it, it's a really cheap place to live, albeit not a very comfortable place, but a cheap place nonetheless. Have you guys ever? This is changing the subject a little bit. Have you ever spent a night in a karaoke booth? I'm not talking about like all nights karaoke, but actually slept in a booth before.
No.
I was with some friends. I didn't sleep, but my friends did.
Right. That's funny. I've heard that in certain places around Japan, like there are certain tourist attracting events in which like the hotels fill up. In Tokushima, there's a big dance festival in the summer. So I've heard of a lot of people, they'll come to whatever city, whatever location, and instead of renting a hotel, they'll just rent a karaoke box for the entire night. They won't actually sing. They'll just sleep there, sleep on the benches with a few friends. Sounds horribly uncomfortable, but hey, why the hell not? Anyway, guys, why don't we jump to the last story, the Nagashi Somen story. Do you mind picking that one up, Andrew?
Sure.
Nice.
So this is our namesake this week. The World Nagashi Somen Association hopes to break the Guinness World Record for fastest noodle. I did not know that there was a previous record.
Hell, there's a record for everything, right?
I guess so. But like we said, talking about Nagashi Somen, it's the kind that you grab out of the water flowing down the pipe and eat. They're trying to make it the fastest, and I don't know, according to Rocket News 24.
Right.
On 11th of July, the World Nagashi Somen Association set out to break their previous Guinness World Record
Right.
for the fastest flowing somen noodles, which is 14.5 kilometers an hour.
Do you think there's some dude just sitting down there with a radar gun, like clocking the speed of the noodles as they flow by?
Mm-hmm.
Be pretty interesting.
This was done at Kyoto Station along its grand staircase.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically just lined up the tube, a really long tube up the staircase.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't... I can't really quite... I can't see whether or not they use the that traditional bamboo shoot. In the first picture, it's this is kind of like traditional Somen Nagashi, or Nagashi Somen. But yeah, this maybe looks like a slightly different style tube. I guess they're going for speed more than traditional Japanese aesthetics.
Right. And it wasn't just gravity that they had going on at work. They actually had a pressure hose, a high-pressure pump at the top of the stairs.
Right.
Whoa.
And I think they actually succeeded in breaking the record, didn't they?
Well, yeah, but the only problem is it wasn't so much Nagashi Somen, which means flowing somen, but more like Tobashi Somen, or flying somen.
Flying Somen.
It's because that's what happens when you blast something with a fire hose.
It's pretty cool. If you guys ever get a chance to do it, it's a lot of fun. Hey, it's funny. I remember I did it once with like a dance troupe, like a traditional dance troupe to which I belonged. And in addition to everybody lining up on the kind of along the chute, you have to line up in terms of rank. So the head of the dance group, he was at the very, very top, so he kind of got the first dibs. And since that year I was the freshman, I was the person who just joined, I was at the bottom. And you get kind of like the tiny little bits of broken noodles and the leftovers that it's been picked through by everybody else as it flows down.
Any garbage that they add to
Oh,
them.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I'm never going to want to do this now.
Fingernail clippings were in there, and like pieces of hair, and
I'm never going to want to do this.
spits, and no, it wasn't that bad. It's good fun, and it's a great way to stay cool. Anyway, guys, why don't we quickly jump to the last story? This is kind of an interesting one. So this one comes to us via Japan Times, and is titled "New Beauty Treatment Puts Snail Slimes to Work in Rolling Back the Years."
Man, what was it that P.T. Barnum said?
If you something about freaks? No.
I don't know. I think it's there's a sucker born every minute.
Okay, all right, yeah. So there's a bit of a backstory to this. Putting snails on your face, yes, it's very weird. No, not everybody does in Japan. Yes, Japanese people think it's weird too. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
But that being said, if you go to your local pharmacy or CVS, Japanese CVS counterpart, you can actually find these masks that are katatsumori slime masks. And I somebody very near and dear to my heart puts on these masks every now and again. It's very similar to like putting cucumbers on your eyes to kind of moisturize them, for example, or putting mud on your face. And again, you might think a sucker is born every day, but some people do believe it has some sort of beauty value. So according to the article, having snails crawling across your face is something that people are willing to pay for. Starting Monday, which I think is that today? It is today. Ah, lucky you. Starting Monday, women who want to slough off dead skin, clear their pores, or roll back the ears can submit themselves to 5 minutes of mollusk. This is a quote. Slime from snails help remove old cells, heal the skin after sunburn, and moisturize it, said Manami Takamura, a spokeswoman for the Tokyo-based beauty salon Seize Labo, while placing 3 of the gastropods on a woman's face. In this way, you can have essentially 100% pure snail oil, slime, directly on your skin, instead of kind of messing around or mucking about with those packaged beauty masks. This is really similar to the article we talked about a couple weeks ago, the Dr. Fish article. You guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So now you can go to a place and have little fish minnows eat the dead skin off your feet, while at the same time having gastropods crawling around on your face. That's how the Japanese stay so young, right?
Okay.
Sounds good, right?
Okay, I was kind of surprised.
Really?
I don't know. I kind of want to see the data for things like slime from snails helps remove old cells, heal the skin after sunburn, and moisturize it.
I mean, I think it comes from the same school of thought that leeches help remove the bad blood from your body, which is obviously not true. I don't know. I mean,
well, it could do, but well, no. People do study cosmology. Do they do controlled tests on these sort of things?
No, probably not. I doubt that it's FDA approved. It wasn't some guy in the comments when we talked about the Dr. Fish story. He said that it was banned in the United States because it was not FDA approved. Like it was dangerous or unsanitary to the people actually, undergoing this procedure.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Well, give it a shot.
I don't know. So many
I
people.
just kind of see bald assertions from these sort of things, though, and no hard data.
I mean, I think that's 99% of the world of cosmology or beauty. I'm not saying that makeup products don't have to go through pretty rigorous testing, but I mean, a lot of this stuff is kind of hokey. Do you think rubbing mud on your face really helps? Oatmeal on your face? No?
No, probably not.
What else? Cucumbers on your eyes?
Trial and error.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I mean, people are willing to try everything.
Yeah, no, people want
There's a school of thought that seems to think drinking your own fresh urine is outrageously healthy.
Drinking urine?
Yeah, your own fresh urine.
Oh, God. Really?
Yep.
Really?
There are people out there, yeah.
I have heard once that starving yourself is supposed to increase your longevity. Have you heard that before? And actually, I think that was there is some scientific research to back that up.
And there are also people who claim that they're able to survive just off of air.
All right. Anyway, guys.
Anyway, we're kind of off on a sidetrack there.
We got to wrap up the show. Any last things you want to mention before we head out?
Yeah. If you're down in Sakai, my friend Eric just opened up a kind of a shop. He makes T-shirts and he makes his own custom designs. So I guess we should throw a link in the show notes about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's called Viva la Mort.
Oh,
if you're ever down in Sakai in South Osaka.
Yeah, we'll throw that in our rundown, which can be found at badcommunicationjapan.com with links to all of the articles we talked about today. It's really cool. I got to check this out. What kind of T-shirts does he make?
Just his own prints.
Kind
of Japanese style, kind of his own style.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Got to check that out someday. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for watching the live show. Don't forget, we will be live every Monday night at, 9 p.m.
9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Something like that. All right. We do have to get the hell out of here for now. So once again, my name is Hiroki Matsuuchi.
And I'm Andrew Hawkins.
And I'm Alex Kobayashi.
And this is Bad Communication, bad jokes, good conversation, and as always, the news out of Japan. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Nice.
That was awkward.
A little bit. All right.
Where can I drop that link? Oh, sorry. We're still live, aren't we?
Yeah, we are still live. Just put it in the rundown or something. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for watching the live show. To everybody who did come out, don't forget we will be live every week at this same time. Okay, let me get this straight. So it's 10 a.m. Monday in Japan, which would be 9 p.m. Sunday Eastern Standard Time, which would be 6 p.m. Sunday Pacific Standard Time. I think that's right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.